and then hopefully pull in the rest of the 15 states that we are going to draw on for the Western Region Symposium this time. And yes, your council president talked about some of the great things that are going on in the state here. He's absolutely right. Things like MOA Day on the Hornet, really unique in our chapter system. Things like the legislative effort your Palm Springs chapter is pursuing on trying to push Medicare reform, and this is something nobody else is doing. So what Warren asked me to do is talk about two things. First of all, what is MOAA's perspective on councils? And then talk about Year of the Chapter, which, although we've been trying to get the word out on it, it is not well understood just what it is, how it's going to affect you. I hope to touch on it. Well, before I kick off here, I'd like to say congratulations to the 9 chapters in your state that are levels of excellence, 4- and 5-star winners. Congratulations to all of you. We are working on a recognition ceremony at tomorrow night's dinner for you, which is the first time we've ever done this. We'll be talking with those chapters separately, and we hope to get the chairman of the board to present you with your streamer at that dinner. Now, some of you have already had it presented by Admiral Ryan, and we'd like the chairman to take a shot at that too, if we can arrange it. So that's more to follow on that. All right, councils. It turns out that MOAA National, as an organization here, just as part of Year of the Chapter, we'll talk more about that, we realized that we haven't been putting enough emphasis on the role of our state councils. The way our system is set up, all of our affiliates can come direct to us. That's good, it works fine. But where we have seen some real benefit to state council involvement with our chapters are in several parts of the country where we have a strong council, we have strong chapters. And it occurred to us, and of course I've been here, this is my 2nd year in working with the department, that we haven't emphasized the role of our state councils enough, 35 state councils that we have. We haven't given you enough tools at the state council level to help the chapters in the state. And we were missing an opportunity. So one of the key goals of our Year of the Chapter is strengthen our state councils. So it's just kind of a timely conversation here. And I do commend the article, the paper that is in your agenda folder that you were handed. It's called An Opportunity. That's the top of it. It talks about what the state council does. That's really good. I commend that to you. Warren, that's a really good piece. Let me just give it to you from the national perspective. What do we see state councils do? And believe me, the discussion of what does the state council do for chapters and why am I paying dues to the state council, what am I giving back to my membership, goes on around the country and all of the councils that we have, believe me. All right, well, what are some of the things that we think are important for state councils to do? Well, first of all, the state council, besides being a real entrance into the state for federal level issues, the issues that we work at the national level, the council is the key in all state legislative issues, which we don't work at the national level. You know that. We don't do those things. So there are a number of councils who have taken on 1 or 2 issues and worked them over time, much like we do at the national level, and had some successes that really pulled together the chapters and the state. Things like winning state tax exemption for retired benefits. Several states have done that. States that are working on wounded warrior legislation, like Virginia. So those things really have pulled together, in a number of cases, the chapters. It is a it really is a feeling of accomplishment when the chapters, together with the state council leadership, goes down to the state capitol to get something done. So, really the key is sort of like what we do in the military coalition, picking a couple of things that are doable, going after those things and making a difference, and then you can all see that you have, in fact, made something happen. I would commend that to you to think about. One issue that comes to mind that I'm not sure why we haven't been able to get the state to do it is education benefits for our National Guard folks here in California. Boy, we are not doing very well by our National Guard folks. And I know you're working that already. We're even pushing from the national level, but maybe that is something that we can get done. Well, I heard some of it today, but state councils really are, in our view, the focal point for cross-fertilization of chapters. Chapters coming together at state council meetings, exchanging ideas, talking about the issues, what I've heard today is absolutely invaluable. You may not think so sitting here today, but I think I'm certainly taking a whole bunch of notes about some things that are working, some things that need to be worked at the national level. That's what happens at council meetings, cross-fertilization. New chapter planning. Well, it's true that in the past we've probably worked directly with individuals, with groups in states, but we don't do that in a vacuum in terms of chapter development. We need to tie in with our state councils and get their perspective, coordinate, get all the views. We've had some other states where we have had some issues with chapters that are close together, like the issue that we talked about this morning, and trying to stand up a new chapter. And what are the issues of doing that? Well, we need to get the input from councils too. Here's another important one. I made some notes this morning. The state council really plays a key role in identifying chapters that need some help, need revitalization. And what it appears to me to have happened is that we probably didn't follow up from the national level on information flowing from councils, and we need to do a much better job of that. There are some things we can do. We do chapter rescues, as you know. And so it's a matter of tying into your council president, input from you, from the things like I heard today. And let's get some things going and see if we can help. There's too much, what I want to do is reduce the response time here between the time we find out we need to help a chapter and actually doing something about it, either at the council level or at our level. That is a key role for the council in keeping us informed, asking us for help, and then we got to be there. Something that might not seem that important to you, but the idea of zip code management is pretty important for the councils from our perspective. And the reason it is because if we don't have the correct zip codes assigned at the state level for the chapters, we don't do a very good job of giving you recruiting lists of members. So we need to get that right. The state council helps us do that. And we just went through an evolution and got some input, and we're doing something now, a major initiative that kind of tests that, but that needs to be done every 2 years and or when there's changes, so that we can give you the best information we have that's accurate, and when you go out and try to find somebody out there on that list of potentials, they're there, and they're good. They're actually there. And state conventions and annual meetings like this one, that's what councils do. And we don't have but maybe half of our state councils that do what you're doing today, or do conventions. And to us, that's a really big way to pull together chapters and members in the state, bring in some very high-profile speakers, have a good program, and really build some team feeling. And so we encourage those, and that's what state councils do. So those are just those are not anything that you probably haven't heard already, but that's our perspective on it. And we are working pretty hard here to try to elevate the importance of state councils. Tomorrow, we're going to have a breakfast with state council leaders that are here. We haven't done that before. We've got some things we're going to share with them and then hear from the state council presidents what's on their mind. That's a new thing. Anyway, there's a number of things along those lines. And to us, state councils are only going to get more important as we go along here. So, any questions on that before I move to the next topic? Yes, sir.
I want to share with the other chapters here dialogue that you and I carried on a few months back.